Hello, and thank you for joining us on ERi-TV. This is English News Broadcast live from the headquarters in Asmara at exactly 10:30 p.m. Today is Thursday, 8th of February 2024. The following are the top stories for this evening. President Isaias Afwerki returns home. Exhibition in connection with Operation Thir. Iceland volcano erupts again. U.S. drone strike in Baghdad kills high-ranking militia leader. President Isaias Afwerki and his delegation that was on the working visit to the Republic of Italy since 28 January returned home this afternoon, 8th of February. President Isaias, upon invitation by the Italian government, departed for Italy on 28 January to participate in the Africa-Italy Summit convened on 29 February in Rome. During his stay in Italy, President Isaias met and held talks with various senior Italian governmental officials, including Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni, focusing on bilateral ties and mutual cooperation, especially in the sector of road infrastructure, railway, ports, agriculture, innovation, fish resource, mining, and energy. The presidential delegation visited production facilities and research centers, engaging in discussion with representatives of these institutions to enhance investment and cooperation. On the margin of the Africa-Italy Summit on 29 January, President Isaias held talks with President Hassan Sheikh Mohamud of the Federal Republic of Somalia and President William Ruto of the Republic of Kenya, focusing on the development of bilateral ties, cooperation, and issues of mutual interest. The presidential delegation includes Mr. Osman Saleh, Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Ambassador Zamed Takhle, Commissioner of Culture and Sports. Exhibition in connection with the 34th anniversary commemoration of Thir operation was opened today, 8th of February, in the port city of Massawa. The exhibition was officially opened by Mrs. Asmaret Abraha, Governor of the Northern Red Sea region. The exhibition showcased the heroic feat demonstrated by the Eritrean Defense Forces, organized in cooperation with the Ministries of Information and Defense. It also highlights products and activities of the Ministry of Marine Resource, Eritrean Naval Force, various line ministries, Massawa Municipality, and Port Authority. The opening ceremony was attended by Mr. Tawalda Alati, Minister of Marine Resource, Colonel Malaka Taghlamariam, Chief of Staff of the Eritrean Navy, Mr. Razana Adonai, Secretary of PFDJ in the Northern Red Sea region, Army commanders, and invited guests. The 34th anniversary commemoration of Thir operation, Thir Tunes of Liberation. The 30th anniversary commemoration of Operation Thir is set to take place from February 9th to 11th in Massawa, under the theme Thir Tunes of Liberation. Eritrean nationals residing in Dammam and its environs in eastern Saudi Arabia convened a seminar on 2nd of February focusing on the objective situation in the Homeland. During the seminar in Dammam, Mrs. Winnie Geher charged the Thirs at the Eritrean embassy elaborated on progress achieved in political, diplomatic, and developmental programs. She attributed these achievements to the resilience and commitment of the Eritrean people and its leadership. Mr. Weldeslase Gabramedhin, head of the administration at the embassy, also outlined the consular activities carried out in 2023. Participants at the seminar expressed their determination to enhance organizational capacity and engagement in national affairs. Similarly, the South Sudan branch of the National Union of Eritrean Women conducted its annual activity assessment meeting in Juba on 4th of February. During the meeting, extensive discussions were held on the report presented by Mrs. Lula Tesfayewat, head of the Union branch. Mr. Johannes Takhle Mikael, Eritrea's ambassador to the Republic of South Sudan, urged the Union branch to actively participate in the national affairs. We are live on ERi-TV. Please stay tuned for international news. A volcano in Iceland erupted today for the second time this year, pumping lava up to 80 meters into the air in what is the sixth outbreak on the southern-western Reykjanes Peninsula since 2021. Live video from the area showed fountains of bright orange molten rocks spewing from fissures in the ground in sharp contrast to the still dark night sky. Intense earthquake activity began around 5:30 a.m. and the outbreak itself started some 30 minutes later. The eruption fissure was roughly 3 kilometers long, the Metropolitan Office said, adding that the outbreak was believed to be in the same location as December 18 eruption. The nearby Pablo Galun had closed today. The previous eruption in this area started on January 14th and lasted roughly 2 days, with lava flows reaching the outskirts of the Grindavik fishing town, whose nearly 4,000 inhabitants had been evacuated, setting some house alight. Today's eruption took place some way from Grindavik and was unlikely to pose a direct threat to the town, Icelandic geophysicists told media. Iceland, which is roughly the size of the U.S. state of Kentucky, boasts more than 30 active volcanoes, making the North European island and prime destination for volcano tourism. A U.S. drone struck a car in the Iraq capital of Baghdad last night, killing a senior member of the Iran-backed militia said to be responsible for the attack on American troops in the Middle East. Wissam Mohammed Sabir al-Sadi was a high-ranking commander of Kataib Hezbollah and was responsible for directly planning and participating in the violent action against U.S. military service members and assets. He was the commander in charge of the group's operation in Syria. Al-Sadi's death was confirmed to the Associated Press by 2 officials with Iran-backed militias in Iraq who spoke on the condition of anonymity. The Iraqi government condemned the attack, describing it as hostile violation of the country's sovereignty. There was no immediate comment from the U.S. officials. The precision strike on the main thoroughfare in the Mashtal neighborhood in eastern Baghdad was the latest retaliatory action by American forces following a drone attack that killed 3 U.S. soldiers in Jordan last month. The strike came days after the U.S. military launched an air assault on dozens of sites in Iraq and Syria used Iranian-backed militias and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard. The U.S. has blamed the Islamic resistance in Iraq, a broad coalition of Iran-backed militias, for the attack in Jordan, and officials have said they suspect Kataib Hezbollah in particular of leading it. Now we have a quick review of the top stars. President Isaias Afwerki returns home. Exhibition in connection with Operation Fungal. Iceland volcano erupts again. U.S. drone strike in Baghdad kills high-ranking militia leader. That wraps up our news broadcast for this evening. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.